This week on Common Sense.
Now, I went off to college having never fired a gun. Although my dad and the family beagle occasionally let me tag along to see if they could find a pheasant to shoot. But I didn't get to shoot the gun. Then it was time to go off to college. When I got there, I was put in uniform and spent the next 4 years as a member of the NROTC unit. I still didn't get to fire a live round, just lots of blanks. Then I got to my first ship where I had a .45 caliber pistol in my stateroom safe. Never fired a round from that gun either, although I had it strapped around me every time I left the ship with classified documents. I had one job in my career where I was the weapons officer for the ship and had to be sure all hands were proficient with small and large arms. And we were. But I went through my years of service never firing a live round out of a handgun. I guess I should consider myself lucky, as any number of life-changing events could have popped up and altered my firing record. And so it is that I have never owned a gun that actually shot something out of the muzzle except air. BB gun, you ask? Nope. And to this day, I have not felt the need to have a gun at the house. Actually, I am more afraid that something bad would happen at the house if I had a gun. But I'm a member of the NRA, paid the dues. I firmly believe that we as Americans should be able to own guns as a matter of right. Our country was founded by people who needed their guns to eat. We have written books and made many a movie about people who have developed the skills of the marksman. The world of scarce resources has meant that there have always been those willing to use violence to get their way. And of course, the inventors amongst us have found newer ways to deliver rounds ever faster and truer out of our guns. So we live in a world of violence where guns play a central part in determining who survives. Let's face it, we will always have guns. Over the course of human history, people eventually organized themselves into separate countries, each with their own unique ways of dealing with weapons. Our traditions from the colonial period to this day have been to champion the right of the gun owner. We have gun clubs all over the country filled with members who cherish their right to own weapons. They gather and compete, they collect and sell and pay for that privilege from their own assets. Occasionally, guns are used to commit violent crimes and innocent people are hurt. But we have not found a way to prevent someone with violent intent from choosing a weapon of choice to carry out their deeds. I recently read a piece in the history of the mother country, the mother country's way with a gun. The Brits decided to ban guns. Even the cops couldn't have them. But I recently read how a group of British doctors now wants to ban pointed knives. They have to deal with lots of stab wounds, apparently, so let's get rid of pointed knives. Seems they even surveyed the chefs in the kingdom to see if cooking might carry on absent pointed knives. Seems some of the chefs agreed. I thought that maybe the chefs didn't need pointed knives until I saw an article in the paper recently about a chef who travels all over the world wherever someone needs his cooking skills. The article had a picture of his traveling chef's knife kit, which included 6 pointed blades in the collection. I guess that guy was not interviewed for the no pointed blade survey. I also did an inventory of our kitchen knives actually living in my kitchen. You wouldn't guess. There were 34 of them. Some of them I haven't touched in my entire cooking career. I didn't go to the basement to count all the knives we have ready to go on the annual tent camping trip. Do a lot of cooking there. And of course, I've always carried a pocket knife. Except on airplanes. Learned that the hard way. The message is pretty clear to me. If you are ready to eliminate all the guns and knives on the planet, we resourceful souls will find another way to harm each other. Recalling, of course, that famous tale where this little guy, David, takes out the big guy, Goliath, with a stone slung mightily. Perhaps the next world war will be called the Toothpick Wars. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
Join us on Verizon Channel 34 or Cox Channel 15. Saturdays at 4 p.m. and Sunday at 10 a.m. Find us on Facebook at Common Sense and on Twitter at CommonSenseRI.